class together. So your job is to kind of work through these. So what do you think about how much water in cubic feet is in this pool? This is the Juniper Outdoor Pool, 8 lanes. I got some dimensions here for you. I want you, after we talk about estimation, we've done a whole class on this now. At this point we will have done. I want to know how much water is in that pool. I want to know how many minifigures my son has to buy in order to make sure on average he gets every one of the 16, which is what he wanted to do. He wanted to get every one of the 16 minifigures at the store. He's like, well, let's buy 16 of them. I'm like, you think that's going to do it? And again, that answer right now might sound like gibberish because this is the first day and it's 9 o'clock in the morning. But after discussing it in class together, it will not sound so gibberish-filled. So these are the questions. These are the questions. How much is that money worth? How much is that money worth right there at the bottom of that pond? A question a 6-year-old asked me. Okay? There's one of those cool spheres. You ever see those things? Those spheres sitting in like a fountain and they're slowly turning as the water's pushing up? You ever wonder how much water does that take to make that? I don't know if everybody ordered that. You ever seen Fight Club? Movie Fight Club? It takes place in Delaware. I don't know if anybody knows that. Yeah, there's a great scene in Fight Club with 3 of those things come off their they get blown off their pedestals and rolling away, right? How much force would that take? Again, this is the question that helps you answer that. Surprisingly, not as much as you probably think it does. Okay? So this is a great one. Anyway, you'll get to all these. When you see these E9s, E1, E3, the E stands for extra. They're not in a textbook. They're ones I've come up with as I'm wandering around and I'm kind of experiencing the world as it comes at me. And I'm like, holy crap, there's statistics, there's some estimation, there's this, there's that. I want you guys to work through these. If you get stuck, I give you solutions down here. If you get stuck. And eventually I'm going to work around and working them on YouTube videos and having them posted online, so I haven't gotten there yet. But bring those questions to class. Like if I say in E5, it says use the program from class. I'm going to give you guys a TI program come either Wednesday or Monday of next week. That's going to help you answer some of these questions. If use the program from class doesn't help you enough, you might come to class on Wednesday and say, Sean, it says use the program from class. I see that, but I still don't know how to answer the question. Then we do it together. But hopefully I've given you enough to kind of, like I said, your reading skills are going to get really, really sharp in this class. Or you get annoyed, or both. Yeah? Good. So, does it make sense so far? So that's homework. That's homework. I want to open up one more homework sheet for you too, because you'll notice that this estimation doesn't have any Larson text attached to it. Larson doesn't have an estimation section in his book. He does have a linear modeling. So if it was the linear modeling assignment we finished, you would click on that one. And you'll notice up here, this is the part out of the textbook. I'm trying to highlight it, but it's not letting me. So right here. This is the part out of the textbook. And these are those extra questions, the ones that are over and above, the ones that I've thought of as I'm kind of listening to students respond and listening to their questions and saying, okay, that question's come up like 6 times now. We can design a question to help answer that question. You see what I'm getting at? So the homework is basically, if it exists, do the stuff out of the textbook. And if it doesn't exist, then do the ones that are marked E1, E2, E whatever. And then bring that work to class the next time. And the first thing we do is go over that stuff. If there are any questions, I always start the class by saying, what do you got? Any questions? And you ask. And if you have them, we answer them. And if you don't have them, we go, hell yeah, and we keep going. That make sense? Now, in previous math classes, what did you do with that homework once you did it?
Turn it in.
Yes! You do not do that in here. You keep it. You keep it. I'm not taking it away from you because you just got done working on it, and maybe you got questions answered that day on it. You keep it. You keep it neatly in a notebook, so you refer back to it. So it becomes a log, a diary, if you will, of your mathematical work. So how do I grade you on your homework? With these guys, with quizzes. I post the quizzes. Did you notice on the schedule page? Maybe you didn't. There's at least one quiz every week. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Notice almost none of them are highlighted yet. Why?
Because they're not made up yet.
Right, because I'm not exactly sure what we're going to be doing on week 5 yet. Got an idea, but an idea isn't good enough to put a quiz up yet. The first quiz is up there. We'll come back to him. But every week you're going to have at least one quiz. Sometimes I do quizzes in class. Sometimes I do quizzes in class. Sometimes there are 2 quizzes per week. Some of you are starting to look a little bit flabbergasted. I want to caveat this with this, and you may not have noticed this. Quizzes are optional. You don't have to do quizzes if you don't want to. I'm going to convince you in about 5 or so minutes why you should. But they are optional. That might you had it before in other classes. I don't think anybody else has had it before in a class. Optional quizzes are a very, very good thing. It's an experiment I tried 3 years ago. Complete and total Hail Mary pass on my part educationally. It works brilliantly. Students love it, and I'm going to explain to you why you like them momentarily. But you're starting to get that glaze. So we're going to stop. I'm going to take roll, and then we're going to take 5, wander out, get some air in this freaking room because it's really, really hot right now. And this is why I'm going to make it kick on even more. So yes, exactly. So we're gonna turn this off.